We want to welcome you to our SLI site. If you get a chance to look around, you'll find videos on our values, our mission, our vision, our process, and the fruit that we often see as we get to do this work that God is leading in. We have multiple different types of projects within SLI. We work with local churches, with denominational groups, with regional groups, and sometimes with nonprofit organizations. Our primary work is to help those organizations become substantially better at their core mission of making disciples of Jesus Christ, transforming the world around us. And so that's what we're about. We're a Christ-centered organization. We also have the privilege of partnering with another organization with an initiative that we call the Lay Mobilization Institute, where we get cohorts of churches that can move through this process. And then we have what we call Abide, which is particularly designed for small churches looking for this kind of process, but may need help with coaching and are able to do that with other small churches in their area.
In the opening moments of SLI, as we looked around the landscape of how people were providing leadership, we noticed coaching and consulting and seminars and books and a number of different venues for people to gain access to help. What we focused on is we call it the walk alongside process, and wanted to be able to go into the trenches with people and literally stand next to them as they were learning new leadership concepts, and wanted to build an organization that had the capacity to help not just dump information on people and go, but to literally stand and be a part of the ministries and their struggles as they get better.
And the interesting one aspect of that kind of catches you by surprise is the life change that comes out of the work that we're involved in. You know, a lot of people bring you in and they say, oh yeah, or when I talk to people, they'll say, oh, you help them with finances and building plans. No, unfortunately, we don't do any of that. We're really here to help them affect their mission. So what changes do they need to make to affect their mission?
SLI offers the opportunity and an environment and a framework for really understanding how to create and to live into helping to make disciples. It's a place where together we grow and understand our context, we understand our values, we understand what it is that is important in our world, in our church, in our lives about actually living into not only being a disciple, but going and making disciples for the transformation of the world.
My first conversion was a few days before my 18th birthday. It's when I surrendered my life to Jesus and stepped over the line of faith and became a follower. I had a second conversion, and that was to the bride of Christ, to the church. And that happened about 10 years later as I saw the beauty of the local church and that she really is the hope of the world. I've had a third conversion, and that's as a leader, and that's from a heroic solo leader to a generative team leader. And my experience with SLI has been primarily around that third conversion. They have been the folk who've walked alongside me and my church and helped us transform from being an environment that would have lasted for a few years and then quickly faded away into an environment that now has a future with hope and is expanding exponentially in this city, in this state, and even around the world.